Hey guys, Wanjiko Karaoke is my name as always. I am back again here today to talk about the secrets to a happy marriage. If you can remember in our previous video, we spoke about the key to a happy marriage, and here now we are continuing with the secrets to a happy marriage. And one secret to a happy marriage that I have taught myself is accepting your husband as he is, or accepting your partner as he is. So as a wife, it is your responsibility to know that these are the qualities of my husband and this is how I got married to him. This is who he is, and not trying to change him. I always say that you cannot change people by telling them what you want them to become. You can change people by behaving the way you would want them to become, because changing a person breeds resentment. Like you are trying to change a person who has had all those qualities when you met them. The minute you get married to them, you want them to become what you wished you had, which is impossible. Trying to change a man or trying to change a person simply tells them that you do not love who they are. You do not accept who they are. You do not appreciate who they are. It's like telling somebody, can you imagine telling a short person that you want them to be tall, like me? Is it possible? It is not possible. Can you imagine telling a person who is angry to behave like they are happy? Yes, they will pretend and behave like they are happy, but they aren't. So you just let those people be. You allow them to become what they feel, what they are feeling. And until you yourself behave like you would want them to behave, they will. I always say that even a kid, if you want a child to behave in a right way or in a disciplined manner, ask yourself, how am I behaving? Like, is this child going to emulate me? Is this child happy to see who I am and copy the things that I am doing? I had written something here, and I was saying that we women trying to change our men, which is very common with us. You see, it's very common with us women when we get married, trying to change men. Like just because a lady friend of yours told you that, you know, my husband does this and this, and you want to go and copy paste that in your home, which is not possible, because you cannot. If this person has decided that they are going to be who they are, unless you want them to pretend, then they cannot be who you want them to be, because they will make you happy. They will please you. And I have seen women, most women trying to change their men. Just because your friend's partner is born again and yours is not born again, you want them to behave like they are. And unless they become born again, they cannot behave like you want them to behave. If that man goes to the club and has those sherehes till morning, and your friend's partner gets to the house around 8, and you want them to behave the same, you cannot change them in a day. It is not possible. And that alone makes men feel very much demotivated. Like they feel unaccepted, they feel unloved, because when you are getting married to that person, you knew they have those qualities. Why do you want to change them drastically? And women have done so many things. Women have done such things for a very long time, which is impossible. And you know, as women, we hold the key to unlocking the goodness in our men. The way you speak to them, the way you appreciate them, the way you appreciate who they are, even the way you appreciate their bodies. If they have changed in the way they looked when you were getting married to them, the way you keep appreciating them, and if there's something you need changed, the way you communicate speaks a lot. Because I always say that when you give your partner freedom to become who they are, already you have given them the confidence and the truth and the belief that you love them as they are. So it is our responsibility as women to show the men that we have in our houses, or the men that we are married to, that we love who they are. We unlock the goodness in them. These people are usually very kind. These people are usually very humble. It all depends with how you handle them. I have had an experience, and I'm speaking this out of experience, that sometimes your husband will come with an attitude of anger, but the way you present yourself and the way you talk to them, that alone makes them feel accepted. And they're like, oh, my wife didn't take these things seriously. Maybe he left the house very angry, and maybe you people had an argument. And as a wife, it is your responsibility to ask yourself, am I going to behave like my husband behaved when he left the house? When he comes back, how am I going to approach him? Is it the approach of asisikie kukuongelesha, nasikia umenikasirisha sana, umenibo? With that attitude, of course, no communication. Or are you going to change that and be with the attitude of, oh, my husband, you're back again, and not even reminding him of what you people had argued about? If it's something that you can talk about on a later date, except that day, just take it upon yourself to keep calm and wait until your husband has kept calm for you to be able to listen to one another. The other point I had talked about, or maybe maybe thought about, is admiring his masculine qualities. There's always something that we used to be told even when we went for seminars, and even now when we go for seminars, there's something that we are always told, that never wound your sensitive or the sensitive pride of your husband, because his masculine qualities are usually very sensitive. Can you imagine telling your husband, and you're looking so fat? How does that sound? Okay, I have had people telling their husbands that, and honestly, for me, I don't feel like it's very humbling for a woman to tell their husband like that. It is the worst thing you will tell your husband, or even maybe your wife. Can you imagine your husband coming in the house and telling you that you're looking so fat? Like, it's already very negative. It's already very demotivating. So how do you communicate as a wife to your husband? I am going to read a verse that is in the book of Genesis chapter 3 verse 16, and let me read that. I will surely multiply your pain in childbearing. In pain you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be contrary to your husband, but he shall rule over you. Now, whether we accept it or not, this bit is where women do not accept. Like when you are told that he shall rule over you, it is the Bible that has said that your husband is the lead and he is going to rule over you. Whether you like it or not, he is the head of the family. This is a verse that many women do not want to hear. This is a verse that many women overlook. This is a verse that many women do not want even to read, because they don't want to believe that their husbands are the head and they're going to rule over them. This person, meaning saying that a person is going to rule over you, what does that mean? That person is the leader. That person is the head. That is the person you should listen to as he leads you. And as a wife, it is something that many women have really tried not even to think about. Many women who are married and even those who are not married. Like, you don't want to believe that the husband is the head of the family. And that is where many marriages are breaking. Because we don't want to be told. We don't want to be led. It doesn't matter how much you are earning as a woman. It doesn't matter what kind of work you do. It doesn't matter what kind of position you are having. But the fact remains that your husband is the head of the family. No matter his income, no matter his level of leadership anywhere he is, whether in the church, whether at his workplace, he is the leader of the family. So you as a wife, it is you to understand and know that he is the head of the family. You know, the Bible is true that you must be humble as a wife, whether you like it or not, because I cannot imagine that I have pride in my house and I expect to be led. Humility is a virtue that is very important in marriage, which sometimes is not even there nowadays. And many women are misleading one another, telling one another that mimi haniambiangi, mimi mtu hata niambia. And let me tell you something. I know many people might not support me when I say this, but ulitoka kwenyu ukakuja kwa mtu ukaishi na yeye. Na ukachagua kuishi na yeye. And when you are going to that home, you knew that you are going to be led, because I believe you knew that. Na mtu akiolewa anakuanga amenyenyekea sana. I don't know what happens around there, and you change and you start saying that he is not the head of the family, he cannot tell you, he cannot lead you. all these things. And I had listed some mistakes that women make, because there's something I remember being told in a certain seminar, that the masculine energy or pride of a man is so sensitive that when it is hurt, it cuts like a knife. Like, can you imagine being cut with a knife? That is what it feels when you hurt the masculine energy of a man. And there are mistakes that women make. Number one, criticizing the weakness of your husband. Your husband might be having a weakness, maybe he's a drunkard, and that is what you keep repeating every day, telling him, unanikasirishanga sana, hata haukuangi responsible, hata sijui unatusaidianga na nini. Those words are very hurting to a leader or to a king, the person who the Lord has put in your life or in your family to lead you, and you're there criticizing them every day, not even motivating them and letting them know that you're proud of them as the father of your children or as the head of the family. Number two is speaking angrily when he fails on his masculine area of responsibility. You see, when a person has failed or your husband has failed, you cannot keep them there telling them or reminding them how they have failed, how it has not worked for them, how it has not encouraged you, how it has not become successful just because they failed. You don't keep reminding them, because that alone is going to kill their masculine energy. Number two, telling him or he is fat. That one I have spoken about, so we are not going to talk about again. So, admiring a masculine quality in another man. Can you imagine you're married and you're with your husband, walking somewhere, and maybe along the road you meet with a friend, and maybe that guy amejenga, wale wanaenda gym, alafu wewe kama dame you are there telling your husband, mimi naweza taka ukae kama ule, unaona vile anakuanga amejenga. Build it in your mind and know how to communicate it to your husband, because it is going to kill them. It's going to hurt them. And as a wife, you might take this as a very, very, very simple thing. It has no effect. But let me tell you, it really affects your partner when you tell them that. Yes, people change, bodies change, things change in a family. Wengine hata wanakuwa viwete, and you got married to them when they were very okay. So do you keep reminding them? Do you keep telling them that? The other point, the last one, is reminding him how you struggle on his income. Can you imagine telling your husband every day, vile pesa zake huwa haziwatoshi, that money is not enough, it does not even help you? I believe, and as I said, you are a pillar, you are a builder, you are a homemaker, you are a motivator, you are an encourager. Is that what you do as a wife, or you do the opposite? And you keep complaining that your marriage is working. Work on your mistakes as a wife, then start working on your husband's mistakes. Improve yourself. Be that kind of a person that you would want your partner to become, and things will work out. So thank you so much for listening to me. If you have any questions, you can leave them on the comment section. As I said, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please like, please share. And we are going to work on the comments. If there's some questions you need to ask, some clarifications, please leave them there. I will answer them. Thank you so much, and thank you for subscribing. For those who have subscribed to She Got This. And we got this. We are going to make it. We are going to navigate. See you guys.